Oh, yeah, man, pop up on them. Walk on, everybody.
Episode 79. Hope everybody's doing well. We're gonna start. It's gonna be another quick episode. So we're just gonna start off with the sports stuff as usual until people start filtering in. And obviously we're gonna keep up with the chat and all that. So
I hear an
right
echo.
into it.
Somebody got to turn something down.
Let me turn my headphones down. Go ahead. You good now?
Yeah.
Still got it? Still hear echo?
Yeah, I hear an echo still.
I'm
I
hearing
even hear
it too. I
myself
don't know.
too.
I hear it coming from my speaker, yeah, but
Oh, my bad. Wait.
so
Yeah, no, that's shouldn't be me. You still hear echo?
Yeah, a little bit.
kind of.
Check.
Maybe it's me because I'm not using headphones, but I never use headphones. And
How bad is the echo?
It's pretty noticeable.
For real? Yeah, I'm not hearing it nowhere else. Hold on 1 second. Let me see something. If I can hear what y'all hearing.
for me, it's not super crazy, but
Say something.
can you hear? Can you hear echo? No.
No, I don't hear echo.
Yo. Heard it a little bit.
I hear
I don't
him.
know
Play
why.
on talks.
I'm tripping. All right, we good.
You good?
On. The speaker's on. Hold on. Let me turn this off. There you go. All right. Y'all should be good now. No more echo.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm here now. Okay. All right. So, let's just jump into it. Let's start off. So first thing we're going to talk about is obviously anybody who's watching the NFL tonight. The Eagles just beat the 49ers.
Yes, they
Go to
did.
the Super Bowl. So shout out to Philadelphia and the Eagles. It seems I feel like the Eagles have been in the Super Bowl pretty often, right? Like not crazy, but when was the last time? It had to be just a couple of years ago.
I don't even remember, bro. I feel like
I think it was a few years ago, but definitely recent. Like within the last 10 years, they've been to the Super Bowl quite a couple times.
Yeah.
But once I seen Lil Uzi, I was about to say once I seen Lil Uzi come out with them today, though, I was like,
you know it was lit.
I'm tripping. I don't remember. Did they win that year that Kevin Hart was like on the field, like trying to celebrate? That's the year they won?
I think they did. I know the last time they was in it, they won it, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So
it was like by kind of like last minute. Then they beat Tom Brady, no?
Yeah, I think it was Tom Brady, bro. Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Might have been.
Sorry again, we've been getting chewed out for not having 100%. That's what y'all gonna get.
They about to flame us.
I mean, if anything,
I'm gonna post a snippet. They're gonna flame
facts and stats. Check facts and stats. You know what I'm saying? They got all the facts and stats.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all niggas do have to work too. Y'all can check, and you know what I'm saying, and make sure. But we gonna bring it to y'all, but we're not gonna always have this. Is not the news, all right? It's not CNN. It's difference between CNN. We're not gonna have straight up facts all the time. Sometimes it's gonna be a little off, all right? But yeah, definitely shout out to the Eagles and to the 49ers. They took that L. I know right now in San Francisco they tight, but I mean, I feel like the Eagles is definitely a team worthy. Like if you lost to them to the Super Bowl, you wouldn't feel too bad because they're definitely like a Super Bowl team. You know what I mean? So so definitely shout out to them. We're gonna keep up and see what happens. Who are they gonna? They don't know who they're gonna be facing yet, right? Like they're not sure.
The Chiefs and Bengals are still playing right now.
Yeah, it's still going on right now.
Okay, cool. Do either of you have a preference as far as either? I don't really know either about the Chiefs or the Bengals, so I don't really.
Honestly, Pat Mahomes been killing. Pat Mahomes been killing. A lot of people have been talking up Joe Burrow on the Cincinnati Bengals, but me personally, I think it's a little too early to be comparing him to Tom Brady. That's just me personally, but I like it because even right now, I put Pat Mahomes over Joe Burrow. So, but right now it's fourth quarter, 9 minutes, tied at 20. So anything can happen.
Wow. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about football. It's like all it takes is one touchdown, and that could be a complete different game. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's always been my issue with football because it's like, what if somebody got like a bad day? Like, you know what I'm saying? They just have like a bad day. It's over, bro. You can't have a bad day
or
not playoffs.
Or knock on wood, somebody get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to wish bad juju on anybody.
It's like soccer, right? Because soccer, so one goal is like how much points?
Soccer one.
What is it like?
Just one.
Just one?
Oh. Yeah. Cool. Same thing.
You how much should I know about soccer? Yeah. I only like it because it's just weird, All right, but we're gonna keep up with that. moving on. Let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about Damar Hamlin. That's what I said, right? For a second, right?
Dom? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So Damar Hamlin, as we all know, a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was, he passed out on the field in the middle of his game. So this is interesting because while he was I believe he was in a coma for a while. It didn't last too long. He was reported as speaking back to people, moving and stuff like that. And then he recently made like a guest appearance at another NFL game, but he was very like covered up. Like he kind of had a hoodie on and he didn't really talk. They kind of just put the camera on him. And so fans and people started to, they start the whole clone business, saying that it was a clone. They were saying there isn't. That's why he kind of ended up having to make that video he made yesterday, because everyone kept saying that no, he really died in the hospital and the NFL is trying to cover it up and all. You know how these people get with all this stuff. And they were being dead serious. So today or yesterday, that was when he made this video. Now they kind of been quiet, not really saying nothing, obviously, because obviously him and he's alive. But then now some of them are saying, oh, it's CGI, or y'all don't know the AI. They be doing that AI shit.
What's up with people, bro? Seriously,
people are crazy.
People really on that. I didn't even peep that.
That's what was going down. Like he was like, he made an appearance at some other game and he was super covered up. And when the camera panned on him, he didn't really say nothing. He kind of just made a hand gesture. So everyone was like, oh, nah, that's not him. That's not him. He's just trying to cover it up. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but
that's wild.
Too, bro. That's crazy.
Wow. So starting with Dom, what you think as far as that whole thing? Not so much the controversy itself as far as him claiming them saying he's a clone, but as far as the NFL and this whole injury thing, because again, I don't know if they've said yet what exactly made him just just knock out like that on the field. But what do you think is going on with the NFL and these people? Like, do you think that this is another thing that's definitely career related, health wise, or?
I mean, like it comes with the sport, man. Like it's football. Like these dudes is taking some hard hits. You know what I'm saying? Look at. We spoke about it before. We spoke about the whole CTE thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's real and it's happening. And as much as people want to think, like I know a lot of people threw out the vax and people like I don't know if y'all heard that controversy or that conspiracy.
I heard that.
That it has something to do with that. But nah, bro, CTE and all them football injuries has been going on for a long time. This ain't new. You know what I'm saying? So. Aside from the vax, because I know people gonna go crazy and say, oh, like aside from that, I'm not even gonna touch on that because you know what I'm saying. But this stuff has been going on in the NFL for a minute and football for a minute, so it's just unfortunate.
Yeah. What about you, Clay? You think this is NFL career related or not safe to blame the NFL?
I'm gonna concur with Dom, man. I really think it's just part of the sport. I mean, just to piggyback off of what he said, and to give another example, I've heard plenty of stories of people who collapsed just like that, even pre-COVID, and just collapsed and passed away while playing a sport, whether it was football, basketball, soccer, just whether their heart or their lungs just couldn't handle it, and they just would collapse and die. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. It's just, it comes with the territory when you push in your body to the limits to, try to make it in a sport that's, very highly competitive. So really things like this, it seems only natural to happen, not to make it sound like, so like,
Yeah,
what I mean?
You just basically it's occupational hazard. You can kind of say it is, like, as far as, which sucks to say, you know what I mean? But like you just said, playing in the NFL particularly is probably the most physically demanding professional sport, because these guys are literally out there taking hits, giving hits, niggas having to fucking keep eye contact in the air while they're running, how much yards to catch a ball. Like, when you really think about it, it is crazy. Like, and especially compared to other sports like basketball or whatever, where yes, also very physically demanding, but not in the way that football is. It's like a whole different thing. So, yeah, man. So shout out to Damar Hamlin, man. Happy that I'm glad he's well, because in that video he looks like he's at 100%. You know what I'm saying? At least he's physically. So
I don't know if y'all know. Do y'all? I don't think he is, but do y'all think he going back to football, or is that's over with?
I don't know.
Did he
From
mention
what
that?
I read, I didn't really say that yet, but I'm sure emotionally and mentally he wants to, and I'm sure as long as his doctor is giving him the okay, I'm sure his team ain't going to deny him. You know what I'm saying?
They probably just watch it. I mean, Buffalo's out for the season, but they probably just watching his vitals closely, and they probably just keeping a close eye on him because they don't want to have to deal with any further issues with him. You know what I mean? So
because that was crazy. That was like just randomly happened. Shout out with Damar Hamlin. We're gonna keep up with his journey and see what happens next. But let's keep it moving. Let's talk about LeBron James, man. LeBron James. So I think we talk about LeBron James every other week or so on here, or the Lakers at least every other week or so. Crazy. Last night they played the Celtics, and so I don't know if anyone saw the clips, but there was some sort of missed call, which the refs did admit they went back
at the end of the game.
At the end of the game, they admit they made a mistake. LeBron was very, very upset about this call when it happened. Like the theatrics was out of control. Like he was visually upset.
Oh yeah,
like he was crying.
Oh yeah, theatrically upset.
Theatrically upset, and so which has been happening a lot. Surprisingly, it seems
in his defense, it has been happening a lot. Yes,
it has been happening a lot, and he's obviously been thrown into a lot of situations recently where I guess he's felt he's had to defend himself. I've seen he almost got into with John Morant. No, not with John Morant, but the other John Morant's teammate the other day. And he was kind of like,
John Morant's teammate.
Yeah, and he was kind of like, I ain't taking no disrespect from y'all no more. So what's going on with Bronny, man? What's going on with? Because this is my thing, right? I feel like, especially after all this, if I'm LeBron at this point in my career, which it's safe to call this the end. This is approaching the end. You know what I'm saying? The end of a very, very successful, fruitful, intense career. I just feel like if I'm him, I'm not worried about all this right now. You know what I'm saying? Like arguing with John Moran and you know what I mean? Like, and it seems like now more than ever, because I would definitely admit that LeBron, especially compared to a lot of these newer players, he's pretty good at keeping a calm head when you know what I mean? Like he'll throw his theatrics or pretend, he'll flop and shit when he falls, but he ain't really the guy trying to fight or argue or like get all rowdy. But it seems recently or of late, I don't know what's like on his mind, but it seems like he's definitely taken to that more. You get what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And so obviously starting with you, Clay, what you think? Like, do you think this is a sign of him maybe trying to solidify his like dominance at the end of his career, or do you think he should kind of just chill, like as far as what's going on?
Honestly, I think the more he's climbing, especially as he's getting closer to beating Kareem's record, I think all of that is obviously getting to him, because even Shaquille O'Neal kind of admitted it. Well, not really admitted it, but like validated it. So if we feel this way, it wouldn't be wrong. Because he said himself, like, he's always wanted to say that he's the most dominant big man, but because he never passed Wilt Chamberlain in points, he feel like he can never really say that himself. You know what I'm saying? He can only really be humble when people give him that title. So
you think the stress of the records or just thinking about it is what's on his mind?
I think the pressure of, or not really pressure, because he takes pressure really well, so I wouldn't necessarily call it pressure, but the limelight of all of that, I feel like when it comes to him having to defend himself in certain situations, he has a little bit more hair on his chest when he's approaching situations now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, especially him being at 40 plus and he's still keeping up with being one of the top 3 scorers in the league and still getting triple doubles, and you know what I mean, like still being the dominant player that he always is. I mean, I seen this dude catch like 2-3 alleys this season, and I'm like, yo, is this LeBron from Miami? Like, what's going on? Like he's different. So and to some degree, I can't blame him. And then the referees, when it comes to them, man, they got to do a better job, because not just that game, they've been doing a horrible job refereeing this whole season.
Facts. So Don, what you think? Like, I was basically asking Clay, like, at this point in LeBron's career, does he think he should be chilling more, or does he think, you heard like the end? Does he think does all the records and stuff, should that be on his mind?
I think it's a mixture. So I'm thinking, the records and stuff is on his mind, but I think it's more like, I feel like he believes he deserves more respect for what he's doing, like this year and stuff like that. Like, think about it. Like like Clay just said, he's having a great season at the age that he is. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they kind of count him out because he's LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now he's not even top 10 in the Kia MVP leaderboards. You know what I'm saying? Like, top 10.
Yeah.
He's not even in the top 10. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's like, yo, I need to get my respect. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why you see him lashing out a little more, because in a way, like, it's putting, like, he's kind of like the underdog right now, and he probably not even used to that. Like, damn, I'm the underdog.
Right.
I gotta show. You know what I'm saying? Show out type shit.
I was kind of thinking, I felt the same way too, kind of. But let me ask you, like, do you think it's I think it's like he's the underdog in the way, or people are kind of counting him out in the way as like, look, man, we got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got it. You the best. You done did it. We don't, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people are kind of just over him, and not in a bad way, but in a way it's like, bro, you're basically legend status already. Like, you one of the few niggas to still be playing in the NBA while you're kind of an icon or a legend. The last person I could say was probably when Michael came back to play for the Wizards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Although he wasn't as nice, people still held him to this high level. Like, I didn't see clips the other day of players of a rookie. I'm sure it was a rookie or either most of the sophomore telling LeBron, like, yo, you played with my pops. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's probably that's probably happening a lot to him. But I'm thinking, like,
it happened like, and even him was like, damn. And he like remembered the nigga too. He's like, damn, like, yeah, you're right. Like, you know. So I feel like it's more of a thing where everyone's just kind of like, dog, the LeBron era, he did it. You just want to move on, because it's hard to even at this point imagine who is gonna be LeBron after LeBron is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is gonna be?
But you gotta think about it like this though. Like, that man literally been at the talk of the NBA, at the top of the NBA, if not at the top, like top 5, top 3 since 2000, since the man came into the NBA. So to not even be in the talks of top 10, I know it's probably that low key is probably like hitting him like, yo, it's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why I feel like I'm fighting for a spot here? Like, nigga, I'm supposed to be at the top.
Facts. Yeah. But
yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. Just to piggyback off of that, as far as who could be after LeBron, not to hold him to this high standard, but there's a prospect coming that might be drafted next year. What's his name? Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, bro.
He is different.
He's 7'5".
All right, but I just want to keep in mind
7'5".
When I be saying this, but everybody was saying Zion was different too. Remember that winter when niggas was before.
Listen.
He is. Zion was the next.
Listen, shout out to Zion Williamson, because the Pelicans is top 3 in the West because of him.
He balling right now. He's balling. I'm not gonna lie. Right now he's balling. But
Wembanyama's on a different level. Like,
but Victor Wembanyama is 7'5" and he played like KD.
Yes.
He's different.
He's different, bro.
He's not no Porzingis. He's not no Porzingis.
We definitely.
But we gonna see though. But they everybody's looking at him like the next sensational talent. That, and every player that, like, NBA player that went to see him play say he got it. So we'll see.
All right, we'll see. All right, so that's, just wanted to touch on that LeBron topic real quick. We're gonna keep up with what happens with him and the whole rest of his career. All right, so moving on, we're going to get into like the music news and the regular news before we get up out of here. Let's talk about albums. So it's safe to say, as far as the rap front, particularly since the whole YSL trial has really been in full effect, I don't know if you guys notice it, but I feel like that whole side has kind of fell back a little, especially as far as being as forward as they were with their music and stuff. Lil Yachty, who's part of QC obviously has had a very rough past couple months, years, between their close affiliates being locked up and incarcerated to the death of Takeoff and all that. In fact, I think this is probably the first project from them since the death of Takeoff, if I'm not mistaken. And so Lil Yachty dropped the album called Let's Start Here. I don't think this was an album. This album's very interesting to me because I listened to it. I don't know if y'all got a chance to really listen to it.
I actually listened to it today. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I think I did.
The whole thing?
I believe so.
Yeah. It's a little, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. Nah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So obviously, I don't know if if you heard or most people know, it is by no means a rap album. I don't think there's one.
Not at all.
There's not one rap song on it. So it's completely kind of like basically like psychedelic music, kind of psychedelic rock, I guess you could kind of say, or just like
it's labeled as
like
alternative. It's labeled as alternative.
Yeah, but specifically it's psychedelic. Like psychedelic is just not really a genre anymore, but that's where it was inspired musically. That's what inspired him. So my thoughts on it, I think it's all right. I feel like I was at least able to listen to it straight through. I feel like there's parts of it that get very repetitive because I couldn't really differentiate between certain songs and the other because they kind of have that same kind of vibe. But some of them are pretty good, bro. He has no features from any rappers. There's just like I think a singer on there and a guitarist, and like I said, it's very like psychedelic-y. Personally, I think this was an attempt, or Lil Yachty's version of kind of like how we've seen artists like Tyler the Creator kind of go a different route instead of just rapping and make, like he did the Igor thing, stuff like that. And I feel like Lil Yachty is he's at a point in his career where it's kind of at like a standstill because he's not nobody's real favorite rapper, but at the same time, he's not no one's least favorite rapper, if that makes sense. Like he's kind of just there. And I feel like this album was his attempt to kind of like, get in there. And on top of that, maybe even get a Grammy. Although I don't think this is Grammy worthy. I don't think the Grammy is going to recognize this as that. Especially not the way they did Igor. But EJ, first before we even get into questions, let me ask you, what was your take on it from what you heard?
So yeah, I listened to it, and at first I was like, I don't know, but then I like, cause I actually went for a run and I was listening to it. You feel me? And I was like, this is that type of music that
I wouldn't run to it.
yeah, like I wouldn't run to it. I just went on a run to it, but like you gotta be in a specific vibe to listen to it. Like I was like listening to it, I'm like, it sounds like maybe some movies will pick some of the tracks up. Maybe some series or type stuff. Like I feel like
I can see it.
He's going with that, and yeah, like when I seen that he did that, I think he even said something. He came out and said, "I want to be noticed as like an artist, not only a rapper type deal." He went out and said that. I don't know where he said it, but I honestly feel like you're gonna see a lot more of that. Way more than like we think. Like a lot more artists are gonna start doing that, and I think it's dope, man. Just jump out and test the waters. Not necessarily test the waters, but just get more creative than staying in a box of rap. Sounds pretty dope. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah, man. It definitely gives rappers a run for their money because, and again, because Lil Yachty, while I wouldn't necessarily call him a gangster rapper, he always was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like he would rap. And I think him doing this at least is a glimpse of what other rappers could possibly try to do if they don't want to straight up rap about, like the stuff that Lil Baby. Because again, I agree with Clay's position on when we talked about the Lil Baby album. Like it just, I don't get the hype of him no more. Like I just don't see. Like not even trying to clown him or nothing, but it's just dude, it's the same over and over, and it's like, yeah, it was cool, but it's like now it's like, dog, what else can you give us? You get what I'm saying? Right. And it's different to me when there's these artists, they don't really got nothing to give, but they keep giving. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at least niggas like Lil Yachty will take a step back because we haven't heard from him. I think his last shit he dropped was like about a year or two ago. Like he's not one of those artists who just drops. At least, at least take the moment to step back and be like, all right, what can I do different? But then you have artists like the Baby and Lil Baby and the Migos, and they'll be like, my new album, is different. I was in the studio, I was locked in this time. It's so different. I just feel I was in a different headspace. Y'all ain't never heard me like this.
But that's
you listen to the album, it's like, no, this is the same shit you've been doing. This is like when you came out.
But I feel like that's the stage. I feel like honestly, that's the stage that kind of rap is in right now. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you really think about it, maybe y'all could tell me here. I'm gonna start it off again. Y'all, if I'm wrong, correct me. We about to get flamed again on Instagram. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I ain't really see no new rappers really like pop lately. You see like a few TikTok songs and them get hot off TikTok. But when I say pop, like go A-list type, you don't really see that no more.
The last one I think was what's his name? white boy. What was his name again? Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
And that was and that lasted like a month.
So you don't.
Yeah, that thing lasted like a month. Niggas see him now and it's like, yo, where's this? Like,
so you don't even know where he is.
Yeah, so you don't really see that no more. So
he has like a KFC commercial. I'll be seeing this nigga in KFC commercials. And then I know he dropped that video with Drake when they were like the horse track, but yeah, that was cool for like a week. And then see shit about that.
If your song don't pop on TikTok when it comes to rap, like if your song not popping on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? And when it pops on TikTok, you gonna get a little buzz, but eventually that buzz dies down, and then the next one pops. You don't necessarily see like a rapper that, you know, a new rapper that comes out just popping and dropping albums, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Because we're not even in that stage no more where a rap song will come out and it'll just stay hot for like almost a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just dope. Even if it does get hot, like look at that song when Young Thug and them had came out with, that everyone was on the what the fuck? I don't remember what it was called.
Ski.
Ski. Yes, it was Ski. Everybody was on Ski, and it was like super popular. And then it just like vanished out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I thought Ski was going to be the next joint that was like going to carry on for a year or two of people going crazy, but it just died.
Yeah.
And then here's another one. People going probably get mad that I say this. Like right now, all I'm seeing is when it comes to like lasting a little longer, because I don't know how they're going to do afterwards, but it's the females, bro. The only ones that I'm seeing right now is Glorilla and Ice
even
Spice.
that too. Cap, I feel like that is still within a certain hype. It's just like I feel like right now it's hype to be a female artist in a certain way, and I think even that might die down, bro. Because not gonna lie to you, like even with what was the female rap movement started as a unity thing, and they were more unified than the men, which is kind of what their thing was like, yo, we all on the same page, and like all y'all male rappers. But now all of them are getting to the same thing too. Like they're all divided, not only between like their personal beefs they got with each other, but they're kind of like the way they rap and how and what they're like. They bullying up with the
homies. They're not even clicking with the girls no more. Now they bullied up with the homies on the corner, holding bottles of Henny, talking they shit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. So you know, because even like the subject matter, like you know, like what's her name? I think like Meg Thee Stallion's rap and like City Girls, for example, is way different than Glorilla. You know what I'm saying? Because I listen to Glorilla shit, and it's not just her just rapping about sex. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously she has that in there, but she's got like I think her own specific kind of like, you know what I mean? Like thing that she do. But again, like I said, even like I feel like with the females right now is temp, bro. Because all Cardi B is obviously still Cardi B because she made a whole image of herself and she's still popping as a person.
She came out in that time when you can pop with rapping and you can stay. Right now it seems like they popping and gone. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, like
her shit,
Glorilla,
the last track was that track with Ye and Dirk, and that wasn't hitting. Like niggas ain't playing that like that.
She said it in an interview. She said in the interview, she just dropped that just to kind of drop that. She didn't really want to drop that song.
Because look, right now, okay, so we see Glorilla, what she doing, and we'll see. I don't know how the album went. I listened to it; it was pretty straight. But right now, you got the other chick, Lola. The don't play with it. Come on, baby. That chick, like she's.
Oh, she the one who make that?
Yeah,
even that to me, that's like a TikTok song. It's not even like a real. You're not gonna jump in nobody's car and be like, "Yo, play that. Don't play with it." Like you know what I'm saying? Like so not.
So right now, I think she's overpowering Glorilla.
Part of that song I know. Huh?
Yeah, I think she's overpowering Glorilla right now. Glorilla Shine.
You think so? What's her name? What's her name again?
Lola Brooke.
Lola Brooke. And actually, shout out to my homie Dizzy Banco. Cause my boy Dizzy made the beat. I don't know him personally, but he good people. So shout out to Dizzy.
I think she's.
I didn't even know that was his name.
Glorilla a little bit. I could see it happening.
Next to Glorilla, I keep hearing Lotto. I don't even know what she look like, but I know people keep talking about Lotto. Yeah, she's a rapper, right?
But she's been around for a minute. Like she's been around like for a little minute.
Yeah, I learned she was one of them kids on that rapping show that Jermaine Dupri did.
Yeah, a long time
ago. Yeah.
Rapping show.
Yeah, you remember the show Jermaine Dupri did like a few years ago? Like it was a while ago, maybe like a little less than 10 years ago.
When I was on Netflix?
No, not Netflix. It was on TV, and it was like a group of kids that they were rappers and they were all trying to be like stars, and they were like 13, 14 years old. She was on the show.
Yeah, I remember that. Actually, Rachel told me that. Rachel was like, "Yo, hold up, that's I think they called her Lil Lotto at the time."
Something like that, yeah.
And then I was like,
oh,
damn,
that's crazy.
But yeah, just like Rachel said, she put our attention span is short now. I'm over songs faster from social media. That's right, bro. Because you hear so much clips, it's like, I'm not gonna listen to that no more.
Yeah. Then when I hear it on the radio, all I'm thinking is like, oh my God, who's playing a TikTok?
Word. But yeah, so that was just our little take on the Lil Yachty album. At the end of the day, I hope other artists and rappers venture into new sounds. This sound does seem like it works for Lil Yachty, because another thing that he did that the other rappers sometimes don't do, that I like that he actually did, like they'll make an album that's different, you know what I'm saying? But then they won't have a lot of vocals on it. They'll have vocals here and there, but they'll get other musicians to kind of put. But he had a lot of vocals on this album. Maybe he wrote the lyrics, but he had a lot of vocals and he sounded good. I don't think he sounded off. I don't think he sounded out of place. He sounded good.
If he keeps it up, I feel like he's gonna get better and better and make better music with that. So I feel like that's a dope.
Yeah, and I hope he keeps experimenting like that outside of just rapping. I do wish that this album maybe had 2 or 3 songs on there that were a little bit more kind of like hip hoppy, at least.
Yeah.
Because like I said, once you get past like
because he had everybody buzzing with that Poland track. That Poland track hard. I ain't gonna lie. That's
and
one of the best beats of 2022.
Word. And even now, when it's like, it's not straight up, it's not like no rock or nothing like that, but it's not straight up him rapping. You get what I'm saying? So I kind of wish he had thrown like 2, 3 joints on there like that. Yeah, but he didn't. So by the time you get to like the 6th or 7th song, it's kind of like, and like EJ said, it's you got to be in a specific mood. It's kind of very moody, kind of sad, dramatic, and kind of like depressing. So but it did sound good. So shout out to Lil Yachty for that. Let's keep it moving because we don't got that much time, but we're going to talk about Kanye West now. Kanye West has managed to pop back up in the media. Surprisingly enough, not for anything he said this time, but for something he did that some people, I guess, are not agreeing with. So Kanye West was filmed the other day, or was being filmed. He was out and about, as he usually is, and he was outside of his vehicle for some reason. Or I guess he got out of the vehicle to address the 2 women in the vehicle, or the other vehicle that was filming him. So I know if you haven't seen the video, he's just going back and forth with a lady in the car while she's filming him while he's talking, and she's explaining to him that he's a celebrity, so he shouldn't be, I guess, surprised that he's being filmed, and he ends up he's launching her phone, like he just grabs it out of her hand and launched that.
As he should, bro.
So yeah, so starting off with Don. So let's tell you, I'm sure you've seen the video.
Yeah.
Do you think there should be any consequences to Kanye West for this, or do you think that what he did was the right move?
Well, unfortunately, I mean, I feel like he did the right move. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you get that to that moment, like, yeah, I'm gonna toss that shit. Like you put it in my face, I'm gonna toss it. But unfortunately, yeah, they definitely, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he probably got to pay for it, or you know what I mean, legal fees or whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? But
right,
I like it's crazy all the legal rights that the paparazzi have. It's ridiculous. Like, you know, paparazzi can take a photo of you or film you, and you can use that photo and use that video, and they can sue you for using it. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why paparazzi has so much rights. They can just stick cameras in your face. You could tell them, hey, don't film me, and they could just continue to film you because you're a celebrity. That's ridiculous. And I think all of them should get their equipment tossed and stomped on and all that shit.
All right, we'll get back to that. But
Word.
We'll get back to that. Let me ask Clay real quick. What do you think? Well, same question.
Honestly, I concur with Don once again, because not for nothing, the same rules. Because if I'm walking out in public and somebody, let's just say somebody has an altercation with me and they, for whatever reason, want to start recording how I'm reacting. Even in a situation like that, if I tell a person like, yo, I don't want you recording me, they need to stop recording you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like it needs to apply to the same rules for celebrities. Like, if they're obviously out at an event, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that where it makes sense that there's going to be a lot of people taking pictures of them, cool. You can't tell all your people not to take pictures of you at your event. But if you're out and about just trying to go get some groceries, why should you have 10 people following you taking pictures of you? I'd smack all their cameras too.
I don't think anybody was following Kanye West this day, but
no.
But all right, but let me ask you this,
because you know how paparazzis are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. There's situations where he has definitely been followed. And again, we'll talk about that because I think that's where.
So again, like if he being filmed and he walks up to you and says, "Yo, can you stop filming me?" I mean, you already got like about 30 seconds worth of footage already. Like, just put the camera away.
That's why, like I said,
you can show you my. I saw Kanye. He told me to put my phone away. Boom. Like,
right. But let me ask you this: so, because you said like, okay, you shouldn't be filming. Would you, if you are at your local supermarket, just shopping, getting your Doritos and your milk and your eggs or whatever, and Kanye West and his wife is walking out, you no way taking your phone out to record at all?
Oh yeah.
Fortunate enough for me. Oh, my fault. I wasn't sure if you was asking me. I was gonna say, fortunate enough for me, I've worked at Barclays Center, so I done had like already like a couple moments of being starstruck and seeing what it's like to see celebrities and basketball players. Like, I used to dap up Joe Johnson every day before he would go into the locker room before a home game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm already used to that whole thing. So when I see a celebrity, unless it's somebody like I'm a really big fan of, I'm gonna walk up to them, say what's up, let them know I'm a fan, let them go about their business. But I'm not gonna pull my phone out. I don't even feel comfortable asking for a picture, as much as I know they probably wouldn't even mind a simple picture if I asked them for one. But like, you know what I mean? It's just because I want them to feel normal, just like I do. You know what I'm saying? Just acknowledge you, let you go about your business. You know what I'm saying? Time and place. Yeah. Like, because I know if I'm a celebrity, I'm in the grocery store, I don't want to take no pictures. I want to get my groceries.
That's facts. For me, I would. I pull it out, but like, I'm not. I wouldn't be up in their face because it's like maybe I want to send a picture, like to Rachel, or send a picture to y'all boy or something like, oh, I just seen what's his name, but I'm not. If he even get a glimpse of me taking a photo, I'm gonna put my phone down like I wasn't even taking the photo. I'll probably look to the side or something. I ain't just gonna have my phone up in the nigga face like, hell,
But for me, that's where, like I said, I feel like there's a line and there's certain like okay and not okay, and I think Kanye West himself is kind of confused with that line, right? And also because here, and again, before we not even specifically talking about Kanye West yet, but just as far as paparazzi and people following celebs, right? I don't think nobody should be, if you're at your house or you're going inside your house or you're going home or you're going to whatever private place, right? I don't think anybody should be filmed. I don't think you should ask me no questions. And if you do, I don't need to answer you whatever, right? Sure. Now, if you're a celebrity on the level of people like Kanye West, Jay-Z, Drake, Beyonce, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, fucking Jimmy Fallon, right? I don't care what nobody says. You cannot get mad at people that are surprised you're just walking around in public. Kanye West will walk into a White Castle like it's Balenciaga, like it ain't shit, like a random White Castle in Minnesota, like it's nothing, and then get mad when people are filming him. It's like, bro, you yourself utilize the paparazzi when you want to, like, because when you have something to say, you make sure you go find them on the street, say, hey, look at me, I gotta say this, especially when you don't have a platform at the moment to go on and talk the shit you want to talk, right? But then when fans, or I guess you don't know if they're exactly fans, but people who clearly know who you are and are starstruck by you, film you, you got a problem. That just don't add up to me, right? Because, for example, look at that specific video. He had a right. That woman is in her car. She's in her vehicle. And from what looks in the video, she did not leave her vehicle. Yeah, he got out the car, I guess, to address her. My nigga, once you come up to my window and you're talking to me, you're not telling me what to do and not do. Especially her phone was not outside the car. It was inside. Yeah. Because at this point, let me tell you like this, right? Depending on how I feel or my level of comfortability or if I'm scared or not, if you run up on my car like that, I'm filming you regardless because I don't know what the fuck you about to do. You get what I'm saying? Word. I'm filming you regardless. I don't care. So you cannot be Kanye West and you're in my face trying to explain to me why I shouldn't be filming you when you're out in the world. Yeah. You're in the world. What do you, like, even if us regular people, like if you walk into a Stop and Shop or a mall or whatever, and people are filming you, you cannot go sue them for filming you. You know that, right?
Yeah, like, of course not, because it's public property. Of course not.
So why should people like Kanye West be any different? Because they're famous? That's us giving them more privilege and leeway and freedom and rights because they're famous? That don't make sense, dog. I'm sorry. It don't make sense. Kanye West bleeds just like the rest of us. His insides and shit is just like the rest of us, right? Except he made sure he did what he had to do in his life to become very rich, very powerful, and very famous. Peter Parker's uncle said it the best. With great power comes great responsibility, nigga. Don't be mad when people is filming you when for the past month you've been terrorizing the whole world and putting attention on yourself.
That too.
I would be surprised if niggas didn't film you, seeing you walk around.
Word.
You're in the middle of LA, wherever you are, wearing a tank top with a big ass black jacket, riding a big ass Mercedes, the brand new Mercedes Benz, and you're Kanye West. How can you, in any circumstance like that, expect to not be filmed by people? And nonetheless, you have a point there. But you will go as far as to go up inside and take someone's property. You don't know how much that lady had to pay for that phone. iPhones, Kanye West goes through iPhones like people like me and you go through toilet paper. You don't know what that lady had to do to get that iPhone. Right. And he's going to take someone's property and fling it.
Literally fling it.
And just fling it like, you know.
That
and walk away like you bad. Mind you, there's a full-blown other paparazzi nigga with a video camera in the middle of the street, and you don't take his.
I think he knew, like, I could probably, it'll probably. I mean, he could pay for both, but it's a little easier to just.
Yeah, he could have paid for anything. He could have flipped that lady's whole car and paid for it. But that's not the point. The point is like, dog, again, if Kanye West was, let's say he's even shopping in Balenciaga, whatever store he goes to, and he's in the corner with his daughter, whatever. Eminem used to get mad about stuff like this because people used to approach Eminem when he was trying to piss in a urinal or when he was out with his daughters and trying to do. Kanye West be out looking flamboyant, looking crazy as hell, and then mad when people try to film him. Come on, dog. That's not fair. That don't make sense.
My thing with that
was one thing if you want to give people the finger or jump in your car, drive off, whatever, but you're going to take somebody's phone and throw it.
Yeah. My thing with that was I know he said he was like you said, he said he was with his daughters and stuff like that. And I don't know. I just feel like the paparazzi. I feel like there need to be some kind of unwritten paparazzi etiquette. I feel like they do.
Yeah, they do.
Fucking.
They OD sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I know you've seen the video where he's like in his garage. He's at home trying to close his garage. It's nighttime. Looks like it's like 3:00 in the morning. Yeah. And he's trying to close his garage. And they're like, "Hi, Kanye." And he's like, "Bro, what the fuck? Like, leave me alone." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all even doing right now? So, like, closing my garage. Yeah. That I understand being pissed off because I can only imagine what it feels like to look out your window and there's 20 niggas with cameras just pointing at your house all throughout the night. That's gotta feel crazy. Yeah. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna the other day had to go give the pictures of their newborn baby to what's his name at Hollywood at I forget his name, Jason, the dude that used to be Kanye West.
Jason Lee or something like that. Is it Jason Lee?
Yeah, whatever his name is. They had to go give him the pictures to drop it. Just because when they were on the beach trying to take pictures with their baby, private pictures, TMZ pulls up and starts taking photos. And they knew what the next step was that TMZ was going to drop the photos. So Rihanna, being smart, took it into her own control and was like, I'm going to control it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is when the paparazzi's out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really tripping.
Those are the paparazzi. That's the paparazzi that I'm talking about need to get their shit tossed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They need rules and regulations because they straight up violate people's privacy.
For sure.
That video with Kanye West, no one violated that man's privacy.
But you can just like how Rihanna,
I
was gonna say just like how Rihanna took advantage of that situation and did the responsible thing because she understands her power and like how big of a figure she is in the world. Same thing, because like not for nothing, like I know, not to say any names, but I know celebrities in my area, bro, that literally live in my area and you would never know because they know better than to leave their house. They have people, whether it's their parents or, whoever, the maid or whatever, like the housekeeper, whatever the case is, they go and run all the errands, get all the groceries because they know they can't go out their crib. So sometimes it's like,
they could. It's like, they can't. But I understand taking that precaution of like, particularly because me now, if I'm a celebrity,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. To avoid all the.
I don't want to be filmed. I don't care. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But if you particularly know you don't want to be filmed, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Of course, you're gonna get someone to go get your groceries. Order it online. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like
again,
Kanye acts like that's. I was gonna say that's the one thing though. Kanye acts like he hates it so much, but at the same time, it's like you don't take the same precautions that other celebrities in your statue take to avoid it, and it's you like, could do that. But it's like
if you hate it so much, wouldn't you take precautions to go around it like everybody else? My nigga, like, bro, I'm sure Tom Cruise lives a whole entire life outside of movies. You don't ever see Tom Cruise walking around.
Perfect example. As crazy as Miley Cyrus is, we don't hear what she be doing.
Yeah, you don't see her. You don't see that girl. You don't just see her walking around.
You don't see her. You don't see what she be doing.
Rachel just said that the other day about Miley
Cyrus.
Yeah, man.
Some of the most famous.
She's living her best life. You would never know what she's doing.
Kanye West, you can literally see what he looked like every day for the past 3 months because he just goes outside and it's just there.
I'm outside.
Like, bro, You cannot do that and then expect people to not be like, oh shit, is it's Kanye West. Like, you cannot violate that, like tossing people's phones and stuff. That's people's privacy. So now you got
two situations. Man, you bugged out for that.
Yeah, like I don't think that. So yeah, you can't do that. That don't make no sense. At the end of the day, people
all the way out.
Yeah, and like Clay said, depending on how big of a celebrity this person is to you personally, I'm saying, like, I don't know, if I walked past Kid Rock, I probably wouldn't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably wouldn't film him. But there's people that if they saw Kid Rock would flip. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Like I said, man, Kanye's, a lot going on with him. Seems like he's gonna be in the media regardless because he's Kanye. So we're gonna keep up with it and see what else happens. But let's keep it moving. Let's talk about our last topic for tonight. Most important. Let's talk about it, man. Tyre Nichols and the whole Memphis police officer situation. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm gonna tell y'all a serious freaking thing right now, right?
Yeah.
When I was looking at these pictures, like when this shit went down, and they were showing the pictures of the 5 officers, or I didn't know at the time because I'm just like scrolling, right? Every time I saw those 5 officers, I thought it was the 5 officers that screwed that white lady in New York, the white police officer. That remember she got gangbanged by like 5.
Okay.
Like, I remember.
That's crazy.
I thought that's what I was looking at. And then when I seen it matched up, and I'm like, these 5 black dudes beat this dude to death.
Yeah.
And you seen the video,
and you know
right?
what? I seen the video. It's hard to stomach, but I seen it.
It's very hard to stomach.
And you know what? As weird as it might be to say, bro, I'm fake happy. I'm so fake happy. Not about the situation, but the fact that it was 5 black cops, right?
Okay.
Because finally, I think people need to look and see. It is not about just white versus black, especially when you're talking about black males being out here on the streets. Not it's about that. Don't look at black cops that you see on the street and feel like, oh, I'm good, because that's not the case.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's police versus us. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
If you watch that video, them officers, they knew that nigga was black. They clearly knew that. There was no hesitation in any of them. None. I saw just as much hesitation as I saw in that video as I saw in the video of George Floyd getting murdered. You know what I'm saying? Which is no hesitation.
Bro, if anything, dog, this was worse, bro. This was worse.
Bro, this is worse,
and I hope,
bro.
And you see how you sat there and admitted that. I hope the rest of the black community, as I don't know how far this is going to go, what the punishment is going to be, but I hope throughout the whole thing of this, black people are willing to sit and admit this is one of the worst that we've seen, and it came from our own kind. And just because it did not involve a gun or a weapon or a taser does not mean it was not the worst. This shit was disgusting to sit and watch. Like, disgusting.
Not for nothing, because it wasn't a gun, it was even worse.
Even worse.
The man was basically tortured. He basically tortured the man to death by beating him to death.
5 dudes. And not one of y'all could have been like, all right, chill.
All right, chill. None. Not a chill in sight.
You got to think about how much people they probably did that to. Like, that's probably not the first time. They look like that was some professional like shit. Like, they do that all the time. Bro, they was holding the man's arms, hitting like it was some mafia movie type shit. Like,
it looked like I thought homie was he wasn't handcuffed. I thought he was handcuffed and they was beating him like that. It looked like he was handcuffed.
It looked like they were like pulling his arms.
It looked like they held his arms from the back like that, and they was like just squaring up and just not like hitting him, bro. What kind of shit is that?
Disgusting. And people, I've already seen people in the black community going like, "Oh, look how fast they work when the police officers are black. They caught them quick." So I'm like, it's not the point here, bro. That's and again, we are digging ourselves a real stupid grave here, right?
Very
These people,
stupid.
Because like I said, ignore the fact of black or whoever, black, white, or whatever, right? This thing keeps happening where police officers are murdering or coming close to murdering black youths or black people, right? And when the police don't do their job Friday, we're like, oh, we complain, we protest, all this shit like that. This happens. These niggas work fast, and we complain. Why? Because they're black. We cannot continue to keep letting things slide or be okay or it's not as bad just because it happened from our own people. when you think about it intellectually, it is even worse when it happens from your own people. That don't make it okay, bro. That don't make it cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if I had watched this video, and seen 5 white cops, I'd be like, I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seeing 5 black cops was like, damn, this is sad.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Now this is where we at.
Word.
I'm speechless with that situation. Cause I'm like, yo, I don't even know like what I know they pulled him over for reckless driving, but y'all know the fools did they just pull him out the car and start beating his ass, or that's what they made it seem like. Go ahead.
Exactly, because when you look at the video, from how they're handling it, it looks like it had to be something more personal, or because I'm sitting there looking at, I'm like, damn, did they nobody from like
that's got to be
like did they know him from an outside situation,
bro,
or they went to school with him or something?
There's no way that's like just a regular reckless driving. Let me get you some handcuffs, and maybe he tried to resist type deal. That looked personal. Like when I seen it, it looked like they was beating him like he owed the money type shit, like, or you know,
like that's what, like it was giving gang vibes.
It was giving gang vibes. Like that's crazy, bro. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. As they look into the story, I hope more comes out. But I'm honestly hoping like it's something personal, like they knew him or he messed with one of their wives or something. Like the only way I'm even seeing this as somewhat acceptable is it has to be he did something to y'all, because the way y'all did that was like, bro, that was more than just, like you said, that wasn't just police like resisting arrest. That was let's kill this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
And then the reckless driving, like usually, you know what I'm saying, they say cops will pull you over for reckless driving to catch you for something else. You know what I'm saying? So that could be it had to be something personal, bro, because if they pulled him over for reckless driving, like they're not saying, oh, his lights were out or this, that, and the other. Reckless driving could just be he made like a little sharp, like a little mini turn type deal and came back. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. But okay, real quick. So before we get into the rest of it and close out and all that, starting with Don, what do you in particular, thinking about what happened to Derek Chauvin and all of them and how that went? What do you think consequences should be as far as these 5 police officers?
Sheesh. Honestly, I feel like they need to get prosecuted or sentenced more than what Derek Chauvin got. That's what I think. I think they all of them deserve way more than anybody on them cases. Derek Chauvin and all the other dudes, they deserve way more.
Got you, Clay. What you think?
Yeah, I think they deserve more. In my eyes, I'm thinking 25 to life, because it wasn't a situation where things happened fast and they had to defend themselves, or they felt like they had to defend themselves and it was a quick shot and he died from a bullet. It was literally something that was thought, processed, and executed in the worst way. So I think they need the worst punishment possible.
And real quick, like these boys don't even have a slight case. You know what I'm saying? Derek Chauvin had a case. He you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, this was protocol. I did this, da 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 da.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying.
There's no case. Like they can't go there and say, what can they say? What can they say?
I have no idea what they can say.
Let's talk about Memphis. Interesting.
Very interesting. I feel like if this goes to, which I assume it's indefinite that it will go to trial, it's going to be way bigger than the whole Derek Chauvin thing, I think. Way bigger. Oh yeah. Way bigger. Which leads me to talk about Memphis. So let's talk about what's happening in Memphis right now. They've been peacefully protesting since this happened, mostly peacefully. I definitely don't see it as violent as when the George Floyd situation was going on. For those who don't know, Memphis particularly has some sort of crime unit that they call Scorpion, which stands for Street Crimes Operations to Restore Peace in Our Neighborhoods. Scorpion was completely dismantled. They had to dismantle and end it today. They announced Memphis dismantled. It's done because Scorpion was particularly only used in project areas, black neighborhoods, areas, high crime areas, low income areas. And they were targeting certain people in those areas. And a lot of people feel that attitude and that power had a lot to do with what happened to Tyre Nichols. So that unit was completely dismantled and apparently is not going to be a thing no more. What other steps do you think, other than, like trying these guys and bringing them to trial, what other steps do you think Memphis could do right now, Clay, to kind of calm it down because it's very lit out there?
I don't know. I think they need to definitely have a better analysis of what's going on, and with that, have a better structure in terms of like training. You know, I definitely think that, I don't know, they're just, things definitely need to be restructured. You know what I'm saying? And just for something like this to go on, you know, anytime we see things like this, you know that there's definitely an issue from the inside, you know, from the inside out. So I think a lot of restructuring needs to go on before, you know, any real work can be done with keeping the streets safer. You know what I'm saying? Because look how they doing right now.
Word. What about you, Don?
I'm thinking like, like I don't think it's on Memphis and the city to do something. It's gonna have to be the people. The people got to figure out what they can do to change themselves, man. The city not gonna change. The city can do whatever. They can throw a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, YMCAs on the block, boys and girls clubs. If niggas just pull up and still shooting up the boys and girls clubs and YMCAs, like, what can the city do? Yeah, I feel like it's gonna have to be the people of Memphis that's, you know what I'm saying, changes themselves. And I don't know how that's gonna happen, but they gotta figure it out somehow.
Right. Okay, what about protests? Do y'all think, starting with Don, do you think protests help? Do they do anything? Looking at this protest, the ones that we've had several over the past 2 years.
I mean, if they did anything, it was more like to, like, you know what I'm saying, arrest the police, you know what I'm saying, kind of try them.
Bring awareness.
Bring more awareness, and it puts pressure on the city to, you know what I'm saying, oh, the cop did this, okay, we got to make sure he definitely has to get arrested, like, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
So I feel like if anything, the protests did that. After that, it's more just in the judge and the jury's hand.
Right. What about you, Clay? You think the protests make sense? You think it's, you know, better? It's better than doing nothing, right? Obviously.
Yeah. It's what you can. The protest definitely makes sense. I'm definitely all for it, you know, as long as everything is peaceful. I'm not sure if I was hoping I was looking at old news, but did they start looting in New York City again or somewhere else? Did they start looting again?
Yes.
Yeah, if they started looting, they just looting because they want the stuff, bro. They not looting
bro,
because of that.
And that's, bro. Of course, man. And that's the shit I hate.
I feel like that's like shouldn't we all know that?
Like, but it's like, yo, like, I seen a video on social media, and I'm like, yo, please tell me this is an old video. And I only saw one video, so I wasn't sure if it happened or not. But like, I can't stand when people do that, man. People got to do better.
Need a PS5, man. Need an Xbox. Need a new TV.
Something tragic happened. All right, Ben, I need me a PS5.
Yeah, only a PS5 is gonna take his pain away.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. I think in general, as far as the topic, bro, we live, Clay, you and I, we live in New York. We see NYPD often. NYPD, LAPD, Chicago PD. These are obviously police departments who have to deal with things, probably even Memphis, because Memphis is a very popular city. These are police officers who have to deal with things other police officers in other less high cities, you know, have to deal with. So I understand their heightened sense of like being on the edge and always, you know, kind of feeling edgy. But at the end of the day, bro, you got a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a police officer and as someone who's supposed to protect and serve, you have a responsibility. And these niggas seem like they're not really into the protected and serving portion of it as far as the job description. But bro, you know, it's a crazy thing because, you know, like, I feel like I would never trust no police or say I like the police, stuff like that. But I would like to feel safe by them to an extent, or feel like that I could go to them or rely on them if I needed them in a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Because that is their job and that's what they're there for. And with these things that are happening, especially like you see now 5 black cops beating a black guy to death, police are straining this relationship with the public and them more and more. Like, it's to the point where you see cops on the street and you wonder, like, can I even approach them for help, to go ask him a question or you know what I'm saying, tell them I need something, or, you know, like, you're on some like, I'd rather figure it out myself, because like, you don't know the mindset of these dudes that they be on it that day, or these women that they have that day, like you can go say one thing to them and next thing you on the floor getting your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Or tased just because of some sort of miscommunication. So I don't know, man. For me, what I think is going to be the biggest detriment of all of this is the breakdown of society as far as police not wanting to have nothing to do with us and us not wanting to have nothing to do with them. Because in that case, it's going to be everybody. I've already seen NYPD in situations literally turn a blind eye to things that they should have been helping with, just because you could tell they're on some like, yeah, y'all don't like us anyway, so we're not helping y'all. You know what I'm saying?
We just gotta feel like as a whole in this country, we gotta figure that shit out. The authority. I really hate that word, but the authority, and the people, we gotta get it figured out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man. I think we should kill the authority word and call it patrol. You know what I'm saying?
Patrol. But I mean, that's what they do. That's what
they're supposed to do. But they go by the authority instead.
It's your individual attitude, dog. I done worked at restaurants where my job that day was to put certain food on a plate. And if I was in a bad mood, I didn't give a shit how your food was coming on that plate. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it's the truth. It's just how human beings work. So if you are a human being and you're doing your job, even if your job is super important, you know, if you're feeling some type of way, either emotionally, politically, mentally, that's going to determine how you do your job. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot with police officers these days, is that there's this attitude of, I don't really fuck with y'all don't fuck with me. So unless it's that dire, we don't need to communicate or we don't need to help each other. Yeah. And like Dom said, we got to figure that out, because as much as I dislike the police and I dislike their attitudes and the way they do things, I understand why they are necessary. I completely understand
for sure.
why society needs authority figures and why we need police officers, why we need some sort of bureaucracy. You know what I'm saying? But all this stuff happening, this is going to break that down.
And there's definitely, I know people like, oh, don't lock all the, police in it. There's definitely some, good cops out there who actually, like their job. You know what I'm saying? I've seen police pull over and actually do their job, and like, maybe a car broke down, they'll help push the car off the road type shit. These random things, these random deeds of, kindness. But you know what I'm saying? The others.
I myself in New York had to deal with cops and talk to them straight up, and these cops were like damn near helpful to me. You know what I'm saying? Like they were trying to like, bro, we feel you, we hear you, whatever we got to do to get you out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you deal with cops like that, and I can only imagine how hard it is to be a police officer like that, and then have to deal with this stigma that comes on police officers as a whole because of other cops that just can't get their attitude together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes those good cops' jobs twice as hard, because people off rip don't trust you or don't want to give you the benefit of the doubt. So, man,
it's true.
Yeah, like I definitely second what Don said. I feel like we got to figure that shit out. We got to figure it out. Other than that, though, RP to Tyre Nichols.
Facts.
Another,
man.
Must have get sad to see. Yeah. I seen that he was yelling out for his mama, same way as George Floyd. Shit crazy. Yeah. And apparently he has the same birthday as the one girl who got killed by the police, Breonna Taylor. Exact same birthday. So I don't know what's going on, what kind of signs it's supposed to be, but all this got to stop, pretty much.
Yeah, bro. It's pretty bad. So, but other than that, bro, like I said, RP to him, and hopefully it ends. I don't really got nothing else on that topic. Do y'all got anything y'all wanted to say before I talk about one?
I was gonna say, got a new video coming out and it's dropping this Friday.
Whoa. Pause.
Oh,
that's exactly what I'm about to talk about, brother. That's what we about to get into. So that you about to explain the whole thing. That's what's about to happen. So if you don't got nothing else to talk about before we walk out today, I would love to talk about my brother right here's music video that he got coming out. That's dropping very soon. I hear on his birthday. We gonna let him give you the exact on that. But if anybody has seen the clips, we've been posting them, and you definitely drop videos consistently. And from what I've seen, this one seems like the most that you've really been able to like go in on, and you had everybody out there. It seemed like the director knew what he was doing, and it definitely looks lit as the song is. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is most important, that some people miss with music videos. Like, the video got to match the song. So if you don't mind, you know what I'm saying, like, just tell us real quick, like, how did you how did you go about getting things together? Who directed it for you, and when you wanted to come out?
Well, as far as how first even put it together, I mean, I honestly wanted it to be natural. You know what I'm saying? The 2 songs that I have in the video, it's a double video. They're both freestyles. You know what I'm saying? They're not original songs, but they're freestyles that everybody enjoyed when I dropped them. You know what I'm saying? It did numbers on YouTube with me just doing my couple reels to it. So I kind of wanted to keep that feel going. So while at the same time, step into the new year showing better quality. So I reached out to Panoramic Films, who actually, you know, is probably, I will say, probably the best videographer in the 845 right now. And, you know, he works with a lot of established artists and stuff like that. So as far as me being up and coming and really trying to solidify myself in New York, man, I figured it only made sense to work with him. And off the gate, like just letting him know what I had in mind about the video, he already knew like how he was going to execute it for me, you know what I'm saying? And it came out the way it was supposed to. So that's how that went down.
Cool, bro. Yeah, like I said, from like the behind the scenes stuff that I saw and the stuff that you sent me, it looked like the vibe was lit. Everybody was having fun, having a good time. And you could feel that. Like you see through the video, you can feel and see that energy, which I think, like I said, is very important. You know?
Yeah, bro. Facts. We had the Airbnb lit, and then the second part of the video was shot at the video studio, at Panoramic Film Studio. And yeah, man, it's definitely gonna be a vibe. I can't wait to check it out. But it is coming out on Friday. I was thinking about doing Saturday, but I'm gonna do Friday instead, and we're gonna run it up all weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I know you're gonna be lit because you're gonna be out of town. I ain't gonna put all your business out.
Oh yeah.
You
You
going out of town? You feel me?
Yeah, Zersky. I'm gonna be out of town. Everybody gonna see it. Birthday's on Saturday, so show the boys some love. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Happy that you got that done, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing it because I'm a fan of the song, and I know that the video is gonna be lit. So, and I know you got more videos to come, more work that you're doing. So definitely, bro, proud of you for that, bro. For sure.
Facts.
Nah, appreciate that, man. Love y'all. You already know the vibes, man.
Yes, sir.
It's going only up from here. For sure.
Only up. And so, as y'all know, man, everybody that was in chat today, shout out to Rachel, shout out to Sean, everybody else that was in there. We appreciate y'all watching and listening to us rant today. We're gonna try to be back next Sunday. If not, y'all know y'all gonna see us either next Monday or next Sunday. Yeah, man, and y'all run it up, like, comment. Go look at the videos. Our Krishan video now is doing numbers. So y'all go look.
And I was about to say, man, we hit 400 subs. So big shout out to y'all for sticking with us and big up subs, man. Sharing the content, man.
Facts, bro. Everybody that subscribed and stuff like that, thank you for the 400 because we remember when that number was like 10. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Definitely good to know that. Keep going up. So it's definitely good to know, even 400 people. And when we get to 500, like we promised, we're going to do something. We don't know exactly what it is, but we're going to do something. So, yeah, everybody, appreciate it. Hope everybody has a good weekend, bro.
Stay safe.